All right, guys, welcome back to another exciting episode all about life. In today's segment, we're going to be talking about if you are an attractive person, whether you're male or female. All right, now we both know, the viewers watching me, we know that men typically perform at their best when they are masculine, while women perform at their best while they are feminine. Okay, which creates the attraction between the two sexes. And in today's video, we're gonna only be talking about heterosexual relationships, men and women. Nothing else, nothing more. So to start off, you have to ask yourself this: are you a masculine male, for all you guys watching? And for you ladies, are you a feminine woman? Do you have the attributes? Is your behavior aligned with what's being said in this video? Now, how often are you validated for your looks, for your beauty, for your handsomeness? Okay? As a man, when you walk out in the street based off of whatever you're wearing, when you're socializing, when you're at events, do you have men and women complimenting you based off of your appearance? Whether it's your facial hair like me, my hair, your clothing, maybe you're wearing some nice clothing that fits your body well. Okay, you have a nice style that looks great for your appearance. And for you ladies, are you beautiful enough where you see a lot of people complimenting you for your looks? You'll have an idea of how attractive you are based on how much praise you receive. Now, for you ladies, when you have guys hitting you up, whether it's on social media, through dating apps, or in person, when these guys are contacting you, are they only wanting to fuck you? And what I mean by this is, we're not talking about the games that are being played where guys pretend to want more just to have your attention and being able to sleep with you. I'm talking about genuine men who want to spend time with you, not platonically per se, but they are willing to spend platonic time with you in order to be with you the long term. How many suitors do you actually have that want you for more than just a good time? This is what you have to ask yourself, because a lot of ladies get sexual attention mixed up with relationship potential, all right? There will always be more guys that want to fuck you than want to actually be with you and provide for you and want to have commitment towards you. Most guys wouldn't want to do that out of the pool of men that you have as an option. And for you men, how often do you have women who are willing to commit to you? Okay, so reflect back at previous relationships. How often were you cheated on? And if you were cheated on, how many of those relationships did that occur in? If you notice that there's a trend, meaning, for example, let's say you've been in 5 relationships, okay, 5, and 3 out of the 5 cheated on you, and only 2 of them were faithful upon your knowing, because you wouldn't really know for sure, but you will know for sure if you found out someone cheated on you. You have to be objective with self, because if women are cheating on you, okay, that means that they are unsatisfied with whatever you have that's brought to the table, okay? Whether they just want more or they believe you are less. But it's one or the other, okay? So I always say, who's the common denominator? Self. It's gonna always be you. Whether you're messing with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 individuals or more, you are always the common denominator. So how are these people treating you? Because if you're a girl and you notice that a lot of guys just want to fuck you, but they don't want you long term, they're always cheating on you, they're always playing hard to get, then those guys are not really that interested in you. A lot of girls think that guys are just being badasses. That might be true in some cases, but most of the time it just comes from you are not enough for that man, okay? And when I mean enough, because I believe as a man, we will always want extra pussy. What I'm referring to is these men don't want to show you off, okay? When a man is not proud of what he has, you'll notice that as a woman, you're always going to his house. You guys don't go on formal dates. You guys don't really hang out outside of intimate settings where they can essentially fuck. All right? These are the signs where you know, maybe you are not as attractive as you may think. Because if you are engaging with guys as a woman that you deem attractive, but they're treating you in that fashion, you're really not up to par with them. Men will treat you accordingly to where you fall in attraction. If you are truly a 7 or an 8 or a 9, right? You're a beautiful woman. Guys will make sure they hold on to you. Even if they're fucking other girls on the side, they'll make sure that you are the face. Whether it's always taking you out to dinners, always bringing you to events, traveling with you, paying for your expenses, bills, whatever you have going on, they're always catering to you. Even if they're sleeping around, they show you that they are willing to use their own resources for you, okay? But guys who don't do none of the above or do very little, very minute things, there's a good chance they don't see you that way. Which guys are actually treating you as if you're valuable? Same goes for the men. What women are trying to hold on to you and trying to keep you? Women have options for days, okay? So when a woman will go out of her way in that relationship with you, it shows you that she really likes you and she's not just in it for what you're able to do for her. Okay, I always say this on this channel. If you as a man have to constantly do things for a woman to hang out with you, for a woman to be in your personal space, she don't like you. What she likes is what you're able to provide. So you become a provider for her, but that doesn't mean she has actual desire for you. But when a woman goes out of her way and she's willing to do a lot of things for you, that's going to separate the women who just want you for what you have versus the women who actually want you because of how you look, how you talk, how you walk, your behavior, your mannerisms, whether you're strong or weak. These women will be able to assess that and actually like you for those qualities. Now, guys, this one's going to be for you. How many women have committed to you that are actually attractive? Okay? We're not talking about ladies that you essentially settled for their personality, girls that you were like, hey, well, she wasn't my first choice or my second, but, you know, she ain't that bad. She looks aight. You know, she has a few things out of the list that I normally go for, so I ended up settling for that person. How many girls committed to you that were your type, that you were hot for? You always wanted to have your hands on them. You guys always shared really intense sexual experiences. You guys wanted to do a lot of things together. You felt proud to be walking beside that person when you were out in the street. Like, yeah, this is my girl. I got this. This is mine. You get what I'm saying? How many? Because if, let's say, you've been in 10 relationships or had 10 situationships, you know, a mixture of relationships and a mixture of flings, how many of those individuals were hot enough for you to want to be around? And let's be real, we're not sugarcoating or bullshitting on this channel, okay? Because we all been with women that we found not so attractive. Well, I would say a 5 or below. I've been with some girls like that. But you won't see me caught dead outside with them. They were just coming over my crib. We had a good time. We would drink. We would Netflix and chill. You know, watch some movies, fuck, play a few card games, Uno, whatever I had available. You know, but you never would see me take these girls out on dates, right? And they knew what it was, even if they were in denial. But secretly inside, they want more. But you never gave it to them. So before I give you the final test of whether or not you are attractive, and I want to make sure you have an objective viewpoint of your attraction, most women believe they're 10s when they're average or below average. And that's the reality. Most people, by definition, will be average. A few will be above, and even smaller will be greater. And then you'll also have the opposite effects as well. There will be a few below average, and then a smaller percentage, they're damn near buried in the ground, all right? And I hate to say it like that, but you know or probably seen some people that were very unattractive. Not just unattractive, but like you got to put some oomph in that. So I'm going to quote a man named Michael Hopps. This quote is very powerful because it describes attraction without even focusing on that viewpoint. and it goes like this. Hard times create strong men. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. Notice how we're going in a loop. So in times of chaos, that is where the strongest men are built. In times of peace, that is where the weakest men are created. Ladies, being very real, upfront and personal with y'all. You rather have a weak man beside you because that man will allow you to enact on whatever desires you have, whether it's to sleep around, be the boss bitch that you are, have authority over a guy, a male, do as you please. Ladies, we all know that when it's times of chaos, those men will be out the door for you. They won't do it. In fact, let's be quite frank. The reason why you ladies go for beta males at some point in your life, usually when you get up in age, is because you get the provisioning with the sense of self that you can do as you please. You like that freedom that you've had your whole life, and you don't want to be tied down by any authoritative figure because you know what it takes to be with a strong man. A strong man will not allow you to do as you please. In fact, he will have rules and guidelines of what you can and cannot do. And a lot of you ladies are not prepared for that, which you will shame men that are powerful by saying they're trying to be controlling. They won't let you be the way you want to be. You have to act a certain way. But the reality is, these men are training you to be in your feminine. So when they give you commands coming from an authoritative position, you don't like that. But those are the same men that you will rely on when times get fucked up. Okay? We know why weak men appeal to you. Because you get to feel like you're on top. You get to do whatever you want. You get to present your sexuality in whatever fashion you want, whether it's wearing provocative clothing, whether it's hooking up with other people while you're in a relationship. You have that power. When you are with a strong male, you no longer have that power. You're forced into submission, or you will no longer be with that man. So what happens is, a lot of you ladies, you'll fuck with strong men. You won't get in relationships with strong men. You'd rather be in a relationship with a weaker man while being able to fuck the strong man on the side. That's what you girls do. That's how you run game. All right? And while you're young, you don't give a shit. You sleep with all types of men, strong, weak. So you guys, based off of what I just told you and that quote, understand this. You'll have an idea if you're a strong man when you are in charge of people around you, when you have that authority over individuals that you are taking care of. Now, if you need approval from your woman, you're asking, hey, can I hang out with the boys? Anytime she wants to do something, she just does it. You have no control over your situation in your relationship. You're the weak male. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You're weak. You're weak, G. That's just what it is. While the strong men are dominant, in control. They could be called anything under the book. However, at the end of the day, who do you think women are actually going to? Who do you think women depend on? When times get hard, when they get ugly, when people have to actually put their lives on the line, when there's war, when we don't have the balanced civilization where we have police and the fire department and other forms of help from our government, who do we turn to? Guess what? Women turn to the strong man, and they start to conform to the traditional roles. Ain't that some shit? If you look at historic pieces of time, you will see that there have been many civilizations before us with a similar system in place, minus the technological advancements that we have made. These societies had their own police force. They had their own protection. They had their people doing different functions of work to make the society keep going. But as we all know, many societies fall, and we're no different. There will be a point where ours can fall too. And who do you think women are going to turn to? Strong men. All right, guys. So now let's get into the system that I have in place. This will be a rating based off of your attraction. All the previous questions I asked, hopefully you paid attention and you were check marking the ones that you know you fell into. And don't gaslight yourself, don't gas it up. If you fell into the situations with these questions that were not beneficial, where you notice, yes, I've had a lot of women cheat on me as a guy. Yes, I haven't been with my first, second, or third choice. I just took whatever I was able to get. If you are honest with yourself as a woman or as a man in these scenarios that I provided, you will have an idea of where you truly fall in. This is your time to be honest with self. If you answered those questions, you had 0 results in indicating that these people were attracted to you, then you would fall into the very unattractive scaling, meaning that you would only be between 1 to 2. Mind you, this video is a ranking system from 1 to 10. 10 being perfection, 1 being the complete opposite of it. Okay? So again, if you could not answer any of these questions in a positive light, where you notice, yes, as a guy, I'm getting complimented often. I'm with women who are very attractive that I find are my first or second choice. They're willing to commit. They go out of their way for me, always spending their own resources, always wanting to break bread with me. All right? These girls love to be around you, whether you're inside or outside. They're always trying to spend time with you. If you're that guy, you're going to be way higher on the echelon. Same thing for you girls, all right? Be very honest with these questions. If you notice that you are with hot guys that want to commit to you, they're not just fucking you at night in their crib, proud of what they have beside their arm, okay? If you know that you fall into that category with all the other questions I asked, then you know you're a hot commodity, all right? And if you notice that you only answered about half those questions, where half of them is a yes, half of them is a no, then you're going to be more so in the middle. All right. Like I said, this ranking system is going to be from 1 through 10. And if you didn't get hardly any, you're going to fall into what I just said earlier. You would fall into the 1 to 2 range, which is very unattractive. Now, if you answered 1 to 2 of those questions correctly, where you notice you do get some play there, or even if on all the questions they're like minute, where it's like, well, I don't get my first or second choice when I go out on dates or when I'm in relationships with women, but I do probably get my third or fourth choice. When it comes to commitment, yeah, I do have some girls that commit to me, but they're not the most attractive. You would fall into this range, which is just the unattractive range, all right? This means that you have some of the points listed, but very few. Overall, you're below the average. That means that you are below average male or woman. Now, if you answered halfway through all these questions that I asked earlier, you would be average, which is a 5. A 5 is not failing, it's average. So as a woman, you know, okay, I'm an average girl. As a man, I'm an average guy. And that's if you answered halfway through, okay? Now, if you notice that you actually hit most of these points, not all of them per se, or not close to all of them, but you hit more than half of these questions correctly, and you notice that people are wanting to spend time with you sexually, platonically, in any way just to be around you. You notice that the girlfriends you've had as a guy, they've all been pretty attractive. They may not be your first choice, but they're close, okay? Then you would fall into the 6 or 7 range, all right? And then last but not least, if you answered most of these questions and realized, yes, as a man or as a woman, I got it all. Everything is at a high. Then that is when you can safely say and understand that you are 8+. meaning that in a lot of people's eyes, you will be an 8, 9, or if you're someone's ideal type, you might even be a 10. But this is objective thinking. You're not ranking yourself based off of your own opinions. You're ranking yourself based off of substantial information that's proving whether or not you are attractive. Because all these questions I listed are based off of attraction. So if you could safely answer all of them and be on a high note on each one, you are a top echelon person. On this channel, there is no cap. It's straightforward information, logical decision making when it comes to finding out the truth about your life and about others. Okay? This is a place where we're gonna learn and grow and understand what we need to work on to be more attractive, more appealing to what we want out of life. If you have any questions or concerns, leave it in the comment section below. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. My name is Anthony, and as always, this channel is all about you. Catch you guys on the next video.